Okay, we're taking you to Pierre Poilievre now, who is reacting to the Liberals' plan for a GST holiday on some items. Let's listen in.
Our Prime Minister admits that his immigration policies have ballooned the cost of housing throughout Canada. And what does Bloc do? The Bloc voted 188 times to keep Justin Trudeau in power. The Bloc voted for $500 billion of inflationary bureaucratic spending. I'm talking about bureaucracy consultants directly, and not transfers to Quebec. And what does Yves Blanchet get back? Nothing for seniors and nothing for farmers. And you look Quebecers in the eye to say, if you keep Justin Trudeau in power, pour big amounts to seniors and farmers. Mr. Blanchet delivered neither one of those promises. In fact, he delivered nothing except massive spending, and keeping the most centralizing government in power that broke our immigration system, and a government that's bad for Quebec. Now, Justin Trudeau is in a desperate position. He wants to save his job. A minister had to quit because of corruption. Canadians want a new government based on common sense because they know that Mr. Trudeau broke the country after 9 years. So he'll do anything to save his job. And today is another game. 2 months before Trudeau and the Bloc impose even more inflation, more taxes, and more income tax. And again, it's only the common sense conservatives who offer an alternative by calling for the cut of GST on houses under $1 million to save up to $50,000 on the purchase of a new home. And we propose to cut income tax and other taxes so that work is worth it again in Canada. And we propose to pay for that by cutting bureaucracy, consultants, and waste. That's common sense. And what we're proposing is permanent. We want to eliminate GST on new houses permanently. We want to cut taxes permanently. We want to put a ceiling on spending and cut bureaucracy and waste permanently. We want to increase purchasing power and restore Canada as a country that works hard, brings home bigger pay and pension checks to be able to buy food and housing that's affordable in safe neighborhoods. That's Canada's promise, and that's what we promise all Canadians.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. As you know, after 9 years of Justin Trudeau and the NDP Liberals, everything is broken. And let's face it, the NDP Liberal coalition is back together. They've doubled housing costs, doubled the debt, doubled food bank use, doubled gun crime. With Jagmeet and Justin, it is double trouble for Canadians. Everything is broken. Life costs more. In fact, food prices have risen 36% faster in Canada than in the United States, a gap that opened up after the application of the carbon tax on the farmers and truckers who bring us our food. Now we have 2 million people lined up at food banks. This week we learned there has been a record increase in child poverty over the last year, all while Trudeau and the NDP made grand promises about childcare. 400,000 kids are forced to eat at food banks. 1 in 4 kids are not getting enough food, according to the government's own data. In fact, scurvy is making a comeback. Housing costs have doubled. Rent has doubled, mortgage payments have doubled, down payments have all doubled. And Trudeau's Housing Accelerator Fund, by his own admission, has not built a single solitary new home. 1,400 homeless encampments are now scattered across Ontario, 35 of them in Halifax alone. Our economy is cratering. It's dropped in per capita terms more than any other G7 country. Our per capita GDP is smaller than it was 10 years ago, even though during the same time the American per capita GDP has grown by 18%. Median incomes in our two countries were equal 10 years ago. Now, they're $22,000 American bigger south of the border, where $500 billion net of our investment has poured to build pipelines, factories, businesses, and pay American paychecks with Canadian investment dollars after 9 years of Trudeau and the NDP Liberal tax increases and inflationary deficits. And the worst is yet to come. Trudeau and the NDP have voted for and legislated the quadrupling of the carbon tax to 61 cents a litre, which will stop our trucks from delivering parts to factories, clothing to stores, food to grocery shelves. It will mean billions more will pour across the border into the United States, millions of jobs will be lost, and a big smile will appear on Donald Trump's face as he picks up the phone from the Oval Office to call Canadian factories, trucking companies, mines, to tell them to go south 100 kilometers where there is no carbon tax and other taxes are dropping. The only thing worse than President Trump's tariffs are Prime Minister Trudeau's taxes. It's clear why Trump wants to create American jobs. It's not clear why Justin Trudeau wants to help him do it. And what do we have today? Well, Jagmeet Singh has broken his word yet again. Remember, Jagmeet Singh said the deal was ripped up? Well, now he's taped it right back together. Despite all the poverty and misery and the record gap between rich and poor the NDP crows so much about, they're now keeping the government in power that did it. You know, he said that he would not support Justin Trudeau anymore, and now he's doing just that until at least his pension kicks in next February. Jagmeet Singh has sold out Canadians to sign on with Trudeau again. And today what we have is a 2-month temporary tax trick that will not make up for the permanent quadrupling carbon tax on heat, housing, food, and fuel, and all to save Justin's job and Jagmeet's pension. Ironically, in just a few months, Trudeau and the NDP plan to raise taxes on all the same items they claim they're giving you a break on, directly through the carbon tax. They'll be raising taxes on heat, on gas, on everything that comes in a truck. If you got it, a truck brought it, and it will be more expensive with this carbon tax. They even plan to jack up liquor taxes in April, while they claim to be taking them off for the next 2 months. That sounds like a trick. A trick. Are you fooled? You don't look like you're fooled. He can see the trick. Like he's even he's laughing. Nobody believes Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh after they've impoverished our people and made life worse off. The good news is there will be a carbon tax election, and Canadians will choose between the costly NDP Liberal carbon tax coalition that tax your food, punish your work, double your housing cost, and unleash crime and chaos in your community, or common sense conservatives who will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. But we have solutions, and we're offering them today. We're calling for an alternative, which is this: permanently axe the carbon tax. permanently take the GST off new homes to save people up to $50,000 on a new home purchase and stimulate 30,000 extra home builds every single year. A permanent tax cut that will boost our economy. Cutting taxes on work, savings, investment, energy, and making stuff in Canada. In other words, let's bring home more paychecks and production to our country. More importantly, let's bring home Canada's promise. A very simple promise that brought us all here, and it is this, that hard work gets you a powerful paycheck and pension that buys affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods, a country where anyone from anywhere can do anything, the freest country on earth. Let's bring it home.
Greenpeace était chez vous ce matin. Greenpeace était devant chez vous ce matin. Est-ce que vous avez quelque chose pour rassurer les écologistes en
Do you have
précisant quel
something
serait
to reassure
du Canada sous le gouvernement Poilievre?
environmentalists to see what it be like under Poilievre government? We're the only party with an energy plan. That is, energy abundance. We need to create more electricity by accelerating construction permits, and we have to bring back production of strategic mining or minerals rather than importing them from China where they burn coal. We have to export natural gas to replace coal and the dictator countries. And we have to use technology and not taxes to bring home bigger paychecks in a